Welcome to the Cobcast, where we uncover the truth, ignite your mindset, and explore the realms of health, wealth, and conscious living. Join me in exploring the hidden secrets of the world, unraveling the mysteries of cryptocurrency, and also cultivating a mindset for financial health. I'm your host, Chris O'Brien, reminding you that when in doubt, it's time to zoom out and see the bigger picture. So get ready for an uplifting experience to help you come out better. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cobcast. My name is Chris O'Brien. We are on episode 6 today. So in our last episode, we went deep into the origins of the birthing process. I know, a little random, right? And just how when we come into this world through the mothership and our vessel and birth certificates and social security and all these other things that a lot of us never knew when we were born, and let alone our parents didn't know. And what I want to continue today is what will start happening during these podcast episodes. You may have certain aha moments. They call them red pills when it comes to the conspiracy terms. So the episode 6 today, I want to really focus on things that you can expect, things that you can do. What happens when you have a great awakening? What happens when you start to have an awakening moment? Now, maybe for some of you, you're already wide awake and you've been awake for a long, long time. If so, it's good to see you again. I'm glad you're here with us, sharing the truth, sharing the good word. For some of you may be in the process right now having an awakening. You're questioning things. You're looking at things through a different perspective. It's like you're seeing through the veil of illusion, they call it. You've taken the red pill, your third eye is open, like what the heck is going on? And you're having these divine interactions and you're starting to see numbers and 111 and 222. And then for some of you, this may be the door that opens to an awakening process. I'm not here to wake anybody up. I can't do that. You do that. You do that when your soul and your body merge and God intervenes and basically says, hey, now is the time. It is time for you to be who you are truly meant to be, not what the world is telling you who to be. And that's what's so cool about the world we live in today, because it does give us those mirrors and those reflections of parts of us that we've ignored and neglected, and parts of us that we have learned to love and accept. So what I want to go over here is basically the awakening process and start with my story of how it happened and things that I've learned that now all of a sudden you may be experiencing, and you maybe think I'm going crazy. Like, what the heck is happening? Am I losing my mind? How come no one else sees this? It's a process. It truly, truly is a journey to come out better when you have your awakening moment. So for me, it started back in 2017. I had an out-of-body experience. And lo and behold, I go on social media and I learn a little bit about who Barack Obama was. Of all things, we all have our own ways of this happening. Maybe it's health scare, maybe it's a car accident, maybe it's getting fired from a job or getting bankrupt, or just waking up one day and seeing all of a sudden different colors, shapes, and sizes of the world around you. For me, it was that wake up moment with how the government was operating. And I started diving deeper. And next thing you know, one post led to another post led to another. And I found myself deep in what we call a rabbit hole, right? The wormhole where you can keep going and going. And it can get a little crazy. It can get a little scary. It can get overwhelming, anxious. You can have some fear, some doubt. And a common one that a lot of people experience is they get very angry. Now, why angry? Well, the anger comes from realizing that most of our life, I know this is hard to hear, that most of our life has been a lie. From the moment we were born till this very moment you're listening to this, about 99% of the things that the mainstream, society, our external environment, the matrix, the program, the system, the machine, the mind control, whatever you want to call it, has been a lie. Our history has been altered. Our textbooks have been changed. Social media is changing the way we perceive information. The way our bodies work have been hidden. Cures, healing remedies have been suppressed. Our information systems, our banking systems, our education systems, our financial systems, our agricultural systems, entertainment, sports, history, you name it. There has been something changed, altered, removed, or destroyed to fit an agenda that is not aligned with our highest timeline. And when you wake up, you start to get a little pissed off. It's like, how dare they tell us all these lies? How dare they manipulate us, right? Have we ever been to the moon? Have we ever left this earth? Were there dinosaurs? Is that what really happened during those wars? What happened on 9/11? Why did they change that? How come we haven't gotten to the bottom of it? And you start getting a little pissed off. And you get pissed off at the powers that be, the powers that have manufactured and orchestrated a system that was able to extract the life force and the energy of people. And so, as you start to uncover this, you're going to have a series of different emotions. And these emotions may be new to you. You may have never experienced this type of anger, this kind of shame, or this type of guilt, or even sadness, pain, discomfort, uncertainty, worry, fear, lack, doubt, all of these things. So when I uncovered this, it was interesting. I began to cry. That was my realization. I was crying, like I was looking around and wondering, does anyone else know this stuff? Mom and dad didn't know. Friends didn't really know. Neighbors didn't know. Clients didn't know. You go up to a restaurant, everyone's looking like everything's fine. You go to the market, no one's really paying attention, they're kind of walking around, just doing their thing. And in your head, you're like, am I going crazy? Like, am I going crazy? And there's that movie called Obey where they'll put on the glasses and they'll see the truth, and then they'll take the glasses off and it'll be totally normal. Put on the glasses, they'll see the truth, take the glasses off, it's back to normal. And we've lived behind this veil. We've lived behind this illusion. And so what we're experiencing now, some people call the end of times, the apocalypse, but really the word apocalypse is the removing of the veil. We're being actually shown what has actually been there this whole time, because through manipulation, word magic, making people sick, heavy metals, certain frequencies, they've been able to bring down the vibration of humanity so low that we have not had the ability to have that wake-up call to then question, call out, and change the chains that we have been in for so long that we even put on ourselves. So as I went down these rabbit holes and I start to look at things, I start to question, start to feel a series of emotions, this prompted radical change. Now, you may be going through a time in your life right now where change is on your doorstep. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a change in career, a change in zip code, a change in preferences, a change in interests of likes and tastes. And I just want to remind all of you listening to this is that change is part of life. You're a different person than you were last year. Who you are today was probably not who you were in college or high school or grade school or even when you were a kid. Sure, we have some traits still and qualities that will come up here and there, yet we look different, we sound different, we act different, we think different. We're always evolving, and that's not a bad thing. The big difference with this change is that it's a global change. Every system, every industry, every sector, every type of infrastructure, political, geopolitical, domestic, international, foreign, local, state, community, national, internally, externally, your house, your neighbor, friends, family, everything is going through some type of change. And that's why it can feel like a lot right now. So if you're overwhelmed and stressed during these times, there's no need to create a story behind it. There's no need to overthink it, overanalyze it, overwhelm yourself and cause more stress to yourself. We are all learning the gift and the skill of being able to surrender and let go to the unknown. And that's terrifying, but that's what it's going to take for us to get to that next level. So as I started waking up, walking around, I started to implement changes, and then my brain started to think differently. I started to look at ways I can heal my body. I started looking at ways I can grow. I started looking at ways to cleanse. And I started learning about fasting, and I started learning about plant medicine. I started learning about these things that literally a month before, if you told me about, I would laugh at you. I would think you're crazy. So right now, if you know someone in your life that may be still asleep or not open to things or kind of daydreaming or in their own little world and complying with the tyrannical governments and just doing things that we would consider just still in a slumber, the last thing you need to do is make sure that they wake up in a very aggressive way, in a way that can overwhelm them or stress them, and do it gently. Little things, ask questions, share some little videos, like remind them, see if they're open. And sometimes people don't need to be lectured, they just need a hug. Sometimes people just need to be heard and seen and recognized. So as you wake up to things, do not expect others to wake up with you right away. Do not hold grudges. There's no need to hold attachments or expectations, because more times than not, those are going to let you down. Nobody knew when you would wake up. No one knew when I would wake up. Only God knows this. Only the spirit and the source in our universe and everything quantumly entangled knows this. We don't know that about others. Each of us are on our own journey to grow and live and come out better. And so I started to let go of the expectations. There were times I was met with resistance and I was trying to show people this. And here's what happens next in the awakening process is there's something called cognitive dissonance. Now that term is a term that I never heard most of my life. Probably didn't even know how to spell it. Yet it's a term that was very profound and powerful. Why? Because I realized that there is a set of beliefs, a set of belief systems that all of us are embedded with from birth until now, whether they come from our parents, whether they come from school, our environment, our friends, our coworkers, our TV, the news station, movies, books, cartoons. There's all types of external stimuli, more than we've ever had today. People are getting more information in one day than they used to get in like 30 years, apparently, with the way technology is going. And so what happens is you have these set of beliefs and these programs that say this is X, Y, and Z, this is ABC, and this is how we do things. This is how the government works. This is what TV says. This is why the news does this. This is why you go to church Sunday. This is why you work Monday through Friday. This is why Saturday is a holiday. This is why we're Christmas. And we get all of these things layered and layered and layered and layered and layered on top of us. So what happens as you start to wake up, or let's say you're in the awakening process, or if you have yet to awaken, you are now going to be presented with a series of information, new information, beliefs that were opposite of what we have been told, beliefs that challenge our current narrative, beliefs that trigger and could promote us to go into fight or flight or put up a wall in defense of, hey, get away from me. I'm not here to listen or entertain this. You're crazy, right? You're a conspiracy theorist. This is all, I can't believe that. There's no way that's real. There's no way. And we have this denial. And it's natural. It's a human response because the human mind and the body likes to protect itself. It likes routine. It likes comfort. It likes similarities. It likes repetition over and over and over. And they knew that. And that's why they created a system that keeps us in those loops over and over and over. So cognitive dissonance really is just that of the internal conflict that you may get when exposed to new information. Now, a couple things could happen from this. You can completely shut down and be even more closed-minded, more turned off, more not open to the truth and what is actually real. Or for most of you, there's a crack that opens. The door starts to open up. You start to go, maybe there is something here. Maybe there is more to this. And then a part of you will go, no, there's no way. And then you'll go to bed. You may have a dream where you wake up and you see a bus stop come by and says, and there's, Morpheus holding a red pill saying, hey, new Matrix movie coming out. And you're like, okay. And now God's like trying to get your attention. And then you check your watch and it's 11:11. You're like, okay, I think I remember hearing about this, angel numbers or something. And probably you can nod your head and smile right now because like, oh my gosh, I remember these things. Or, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing that now. Or, I'm not there yet. However, I get it. And if you start to notice and pay attention, the world starts to slowly change around you. So your cognitive dissonance is now turning into a redirection. It is now turning into a new perception and a new perspective. Now you are literally starting to think, quote unquote, outside the box. It's like you're stepping outside of the narrative. You are stepping outside of the norm. You are breaking typical expectations. And when we do this, well, to those around us that aren't there yet or have yet to do so, it could ruffle some feathers. It could disturb other people. You could do it in a kind way, yet they feel as if it is a threat. You can have the best intention, yet they think you're absolutely crazy. And it's not the fact that you are, and it's not the fact that you aren't. It's simply the fact that the way they perceive the world is different than the way you are now perceiving the world. You can both be looking at a stop sign and see two different realities. Okay, so we have to understand that as much as we want everyone to wake up overnight, and as much as it feels to be alone in solitude, not sure where to go or what to do next when you wake up to the things in this world, you have to always remember that you are on your own unique journey. And right now, as an awakening process on the collective scale and the individual scale, this process is letting us learn about self-mastery. It is requiring us to go within. It is requiring us to do the inner work. It is requiring us to sit with our shadows and our thoughts and our belief systems that have been manipulated or are outdated, like a computer program or a smartphone. And it's requiring us to truly settle down, settle in, and reflect back so we can come out better. And that's what this great awakening is all about. And you're seeing it happen left and right. So as you experience the cognitive dissonance and that passes, and as you start to see the world differently and you start talking or sharing, you will notice the people around you might be different. The people that you're attracting are starting to become a little different. You're starting to see communities. You're starting to see like-minded people that think the way you do, believe in the things now you do, and see the world the way you do, because there's a lot of them out there. Millions of people are awake right now. Statistically, we are on the rise faster than ever before, and they cannot stop what is coming. Humanity is on the precipice of a complete change in the way we do just about everything. We're going back to what is good. We're returning back to our origin. We're coming out of the world we've been in better. We're coming out of that. And when we come out of something better, we're going back to the basics. We're getting back to God's law and natural law and everything that was pure and good. And we will have this reign for the next 1,000 years, the age of Aquarius. We're going there. So just to give you an optimistic timeline of where the world is going. So back to the cognitive dissonance. So now as you awaken and you start to question things, your tastes will change, things will start to change, you'll question things. And here's what happens. There's this paradox that happens with self-mastery is now we feel like we're alone. And in society, we associate being alone as isolation, depression, suicidal, painful, scary, when really being alone is when the most revelations happen that no one can ever tell us within. It's when we can hear God speak. It's where we can hear our heartbeat and we can actually tap in with our breath and feel that we are alive. When we are alone, we no longer have to pick up on the static and frequency of other people's thoughts. More times than not, the thoughts you have today, half of them aren't even yours. Go figure. Those beliefs about yourself that you can't, won't, couldn't, shouldn't, you may have got that from mom and dad. You may have got that from the high school teacher. You may have got that from that college friend, and you took it on as yours until you've had this awakening. So as you're in isolation, as you're alone, which we all went through in 2020, the world had a great wake-up call. Am I right? You guys remember 2020, almost 5 years ago, as crazy as it sounds, people started waking up. People started questioning the narrative. People started wondering, why are they offering French fries and donuts to inject something in my arm that literally has no proven benefit so far in clinical trials and hasn't been tested for safety and known side effects of historical evidence and fraud and corruption at the highest level with these pharmaceutical and manufacturing companies. But hey, we'll do it. People still did. And I get they had jobs, they had bills. It was very, very intense and it was very challenging time for many. And with that challenging time prompted a great awakening, a pop awakening in 2020, where people now started to question what was actually happening. So as you start to navigate and you start to realize that these changes are occurring and you go into this isolation, eventually you're wanting to come out of it. And that's where it's like you're coming out of the womb again. You're like, you're the phoenix. You're rising. You're like, oh, okay. I feel reality just collapsed. Oh my gosh. What is real? What is fake? What are those lines up in the sky? Are those chemtrails? Is that what he was talking about? Or like, oh my gosh, pesticides, Bill Gates, I thought he was a computer guy. And all of a sudden you start seeing the world as it is because you start seeing the world really as you are. And then things will change. And I feel like the sooner you can embrace this change, the smoother and sooner that you can grow into this real version, not even a new version, the real version of you. Many of us have been living a life, a lie that has been fake and superficial. And so we've worn a mask, right? We've worn a mask. We've put on some type of external protection or defense system to prevent us from having heartbreak, to keep us from feeling attacked or threatened, to keep us feeling safe and secure, to people please, to fit in, to be heard, seen, and recognized. And it's like we're being all these different characters just to fit these molds. When this whole time, your true self, your real you, and how your heart is created and how your brain works and your design and your nature and your gifts and your abilities and your essence and your soul and your power and your vision and all these things God equipped you with, you're no mistake, is now coming online. And when each of us come online into ourself, into who we are, without worrying about what people think, without fearing what people say, without judging other people and their shortcomings, by being compassionate and kind, without having resent or anger or shame for our past and our mistakes, while learning to move through frustration and worry with ease and grace and having more spiritual connection, we start to make a ripple in this world. You upgrading, you growing and coming out better is creating a ripple effect that cannot be seen or read on paper. It is an energetical entanglement that we are all connected. They call it the 100 monkey effect, where you have 100 monkeys on an island. They learn how to crack open sweet potatoes, and then hundreds of miles away, a whole other island figured out how to do it at the same time these monkeys did, because we are all quantumly connected. The goal of evil, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, was to disconnect all of us, was to box us into these little components, little cages, box us in the mind, keep the person trapped when they have the keys to the jail in their back pocket. Keep Chris here, keep Bob here, keep Mike here, keep Jessica here, keep everyone separate. Let's separate them through demographic. Let's put a racism. Let's put a religion. Let's put a belief. Let's put a skin color. Let's put a age. Let's put a language. Let's separate everybody. Let's disconnect everybody and put everybody in different little compartments and then put them all in a big jar and shake them up and then make them fight each other, make them attack each other, separate. Meanwhile, we're sitting back here watching all the chaos. We're connected. We're down. We're here. We've got money. We're doing. That's the scam. That's the system. We think our brothers, sisters, and neighbors are our enemies. But that's what mind control does. That's what, when you're asleep in a low vibrational earth, in a low vibrational environment, with negativity on the news 24/7, with fear pumping through all the propaganda in the media, with idols that are propped up on pedestals, making you feel shitty about your life, and that there's 1 out of a million chance you can even be someone, but fight for your dream, the American dream, where we're letting people in unaccounted for, we're taxing you left and right, the middle class is being abolished, pharmaceuticals are killing people faster than anything else. Oh, and by the way, we're printing money to a point where nothing is sustainable, to a point where there's no more economy. It's a wake-up process. So I want to leave you with this. As you go through your awakening, as you step into the unknown, just be aware of the stories you tell yourself, the attachments, expectations, the things that you may say out loud or in your head that feed the negative timeline. This is for your medicine. This is for you to learn. Remember, you can investigate things, you can question things, you can find holes in foundations, find that flow for yourself. There may be things you realize you're good at during your awakening process, gifts that come online that you never knew you had before. Maybe you're just here to trial and error life, and you got to figure out what works through experience. You coming online is realizing that, hey, the things that I have messed up on is a message for me. The things that I have gone through is giving me feedback. The things that I have experienced is giving me wisdom. And that's a great online activation. Maybe you're here to really find those like-minded people. And when you woke up, all you're thinking, where's my tribe? Where's my community? Where are my people? How do I get around like-minded people? Or perhaps you have an awakening and you realize you're here to change the world. You have solutions. You have a vision. You can see the bigger picture and weave and connect all these dots to help people come out better. Or perhaps you're here just to be the damn best version of yourself. You're learning from everything. You're seeing, you're trial and erroring. You're realizing your gifts. You're asking the questions, networking. You're finding the solutions. You're going through life. and you're being the best version of yourself you possibly can. And you are a role model for many. So whatever it is, whatever destiny you are going to fulfill, keep going. Do not stop. I know you want everyone to come with you. Trust me. I know I want friends, family to be where I'm at. But guess what? They're on their journey. They have free will. And all you can do is love unconditionally, support, have boundaries, be there if you can, when you can, and keep a level head and stay grounded, because I promise you there will be a time where they're going to reach out and say, hey, can I ask you something? Hey, I think I know what you say when you say all that now. Hey, so I know I called you blank in the past, but I'm sorry, man. When you told me that, I wasn't ready to hear it. Now I am. Hey, remember when you mentioned that to me? I totally get what it means today. We are here to plant seeds. Keep planting seeds, keep watering it, give it space, let God shine light on it, and let the people have their awakening as fast as we can do it. Remember, we're undoing thousands of years of control, thousands of years of pain and tyranny, even just 100 years, if you want to keep it short, last 100 years of corruption and fraud and manipulation into a fake world with fake news, fake food, fake idols, fake celebrities, fake money, fake weather, fake TV, fake politics. Just about everything is an illusion, and we're waking up to it now. I love you guys. Remember, nothing can stop what's coming. The best is yet to come, and we're all coming out better for a better outcome. I will see you in episode 7. Leave a comment, leave some stars, share this. We'll keep this word getting out to the people. We'll talk to you soon.